Yo, what's good? My name's Kang, and today we're gonna budget together. This is a monthly reoccurring series where I break down every single dollar I spend, save, and invest. Alright, first things first, let's talk about pay. With my current withholdings from my 401k and my ESPP, the total that hits my bank account every half month is around $1,700. And since I get paid twice a month, my total income this month is $3,340. In March, I also did my taxes, and I end up getting a return around $2,600. This is my first time in America doing my taxes by myself, and it was pretty easy, honestly. Last year when I moved here, my tax situation was kind of crazy just because, I was moving from Canada and there's basically a lot of tax sauce going on. Do you know what I mean? Like the Canadian tax and the US tax, that it was pretty complicated. Luckily, in my first year, my uncle, who's an accountant, actually helped me out with my taxes, which was really, really helpful. But this year, I only have to pay American taxes, and I live in Washington, which means I don't have to file any state tax. So I thought it'd be pretty easy to try and do it myself. So I ended up using Tax-Free USA, which is a great option if you live in a state that doesn't have state income tax, just because they file your federal taxes for free, and I think the state income tax is like another $15 or something like that, which is very affordable if you compare it to TurboTax or some of those other options. The only thing extra that I had to do was an FBAR, which is filing for my Canadian investment accounts and my Canadian bank accounts. But those forms are really easy to file, so it wasn't that bad at all. So after filing my taxes, I got back around $2,600, which is pretty good in my book. As long as I'm not paying taxes, I'm pretty happy with the outcome of doing taxes because they just kind of suck in general. Last year, I invested my tax return into my Roth IRA, but this year, I think I'm just going to hold on to it. The reason being is I know the next couple months, I'm going to be spending a ton of money. I'm going back home for my friend's wedding, and I'm planning to do some other trips here and there. On top of that, I'm happy with the amount that I'm currently investing, so this tax return is just a nice little gift. So with my tax return and my paycheck combined, my total income this month is around $5,950. Alright, with that out of the way, let's move on to how much I invested this month. If we take a look here, I invested each paycheck $1,860 into my 401k, which my employer matched $900 and something, whatever half of this is. Like I said earlier, I get paid twice a month, so the total contribution that goes into my 401k, including my contributions and my employer match, is around $5,500. Next up, we have the ESPP, which is around $800 every paycheck, and this math is easy, it's around $1,600 for the whole entire month. So with the last ESPP contribution in March, my ESPP holding period is finished, which means the stock is going to be purchased and placed into my brokerage account. When the stocks from my ESPP reaches my brokerage account, that's when I'm going to sell them and rediversify into something more broad, like the VTI, for example. On top of my 401k and my ESPP, this month I actually had some stock vests as well. So in my offer letter, my stock vest was supposed to be $120 over 4 years or $30,000 a year. But with stock market fluctuations and taxes being withheld, the amount that actually hits my brokerage account is around $18,000. But don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. That's still a lot of money. And I think under normal stock market conditions, I would probably sell it and then rediversify into other assets. But right now, I'm sitting at a sizable loss, so I'm more inclined to keep the shares and wait till the value goes up. And I honestly believe in the long-term trajectory of this company. And on top of that, this is still a relatively small portion of my portfolio, so I'll probably hold on to it till the value is at least in the green and then probably sell and rediversify. And to round out the investment section, if you've watched my videos, you know that I also invest $100 into Bitcoin and Ethereum each week, so totals it up to $800 per month. Adding everything up, the total amount that I invested this month is around $26,000, which is something I'm very, very grateful for and very, very happy about. Okay, now that we're finished up with the income and the investments, let's talk about something a little bit more fun, which is the spending. I forgot to mention, but I'm actually filming this video before the last day of the month, just so that I can get it out a little bit earlier. So I expect my paycheck to be around $3,300, and I also expect to spend no money for the rest of the month. All right, let's quickly go through some of the transactions. Internet this month was $20, which is basically the exact same as it's been for every single other month. This month I spent $0 on alcohol and bars. I expect this number to get a lot higher come the summer months like May, June, July, August, etc. Right now, like winter's just ended. We just started spring. We're doing spring cleaning for our body, doing a little like cleanse. So the $0 on alcohol and bars makes sense for right now. Next, we have coffee shops. I only spent $4. Normally I go to a coffee shop on Saturdays to work on YouTube, but this month I've been pretty busy, so I guess I haven't been doing that. Fast food, I spent $64 this month, which is 14 over budget. I'm fine with that, I guess. This month I spent $313 on groceries, which I'm a-okay completely fine with. Another note that I want to make about groceries is that I do a lot of meal prep. And I know a lot of people kind of get hung up on the idea of meal prep. It's like, oh, how can you eat the same thing every single day? Well, two reasons. Number one, I'm not a picky eater. And number two, I'm a sick chef. Jokes aside, I've been trying to hit the gym a little bit more consistently. And part of that is eating a better diet, specifically one that has more protein. And I find that meal prep is a really easy way to get this done. And on top of that, it saves me a ton of time. So I really recommend it if you're trying to save some time and money, and especially if you want to throw on some weight. Moving on, we have restaurants. And this month I only spent $103, which I'm very, very happy about. Normally I'm way over on this category, but I guess this month I, ate at home a lot more. Next up, we have gift and donations for $44. That's chill. Health and fitness for $20. Next up, we have my rent, which comes up to around $50 over budget. Now, the reason for this is because this month I paid my electric bill, which ended up being really high. Now, this is not just for the month of March. I think they also do it for the past 2 months or the past 3 months. I can't remember. With that being said, winter's basically done. The temperatures are rising, so I expect the heating bill to go down quite a bit. Next up, we have hair care. I didn't get a haircut this month, so that stays at zero. Laundry, which is $10. Shopping, which is $187. So this month, I bought an Xbox for basically only one reason, and that's to play FIFA with my roommate. We ended up splitting the Xbox between us, and it ended up being like $100 a person, so I think it's a pretty good deal. I also bought a hoodie for around $70, but it's not here yet, so I can't show you. Next, we have travel for a total of $267. So this month, I bought 2 flights. One of them was $150. This was for my girlfriend to come to visit me, so I paid for one leg of her flight. And the other one is $108. This is me going back home to Toronto for my friend's wedding. And last but not least, we have the everything else category. The fun thing that we can talk about here is this entertainment. So there's $134 is for snowboarding, and I honestly only went in an attempt to, gain some kind of personality, but obviously didn't work out. So I've skied in the past, and this is my first time snowboarding, and I fell a ton of times when I was snowboarding, but honestly, it was a great time, and I'll probably end up doing it next year because the season's basically done. And yeah, that basically wraps up my budget for the whole entire month. As you can see, I was over in some categories, under in others. I think overall, I'm probably a bit over, but it's not that big of a deal for me. So I know in the next couple months, I'm going to be spending a significant amount of money. My girlfriend's coming to visit. I'm going back home for my friend's wedding. I'm doing a ton of traveling. So I wanted March to be a pretty chill month where I didn't spend a ton of money. In order to do that, I was doing a lot of fun, but also free activities, like playing a ton of guitar. And since the weather was getting nice, I was playing a lot of spike ball and basketball. But the plan of not spending any money didn't exactly go as planned, which I'm okay about. Alright, so this basically wraps up the video. Thanks for watching if you made it this far. I really appreciate it. And let me know if there's anything you want me to include or not include going forward. This is my second time trying to do like this monthly recurring series. The first year I failed, so hopefully I can keep this momentum going and go for like March, April, May, June, etc. If you liked the video, please consider liking, subscribing, and joining the mod. I'm trying to grow this channel to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I really appreciate your help on that journey. And if you're curious as to how much I spent in the month of February, you can click my face right here.